Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning. I'm Molly Huddle, representing the class of 2000. Honored guests, friends, family, faculty, and staff, welcome to the class of 2000 commencement exercises. Faculty member Mr. Shelton Shepard will open today's ceremony.
Good morning. Again, my name is Shelton Shepard, and I teach mathematics here at Burlington High School. And let me give a warm, just heartfelt welcome to everyone who's here. Today we commemorate the class of 2000, Y2K, and all the scary things that should have happened but didn't happen. And definitely I would like to thank the parents, the grandparents, who come from far and near. Julie's mother and grandmother from France. Jason Essinger's father from Death Valley, California. People from Florida who are here to share in this moment for these students. So welcome to Burlington, Vermont. Now, usually the person who's voted to be the speaker by the class spends time trying to share words of wisdom to take as you leave Burlington High School, and don't think I'm going to give up that opportunity, because I'm going to do the same thing as I stand here today, so we're going to do that. But I'm not going to do it from behind this podium, because today is about you, and I wanted to do it there with you. So today, class of 2000, this is your moment. This is your time to shine. And for many of you, graduating from high school is just a stepping stone, something that you're taking with you and saying, yes, I've completed this. But today I'd like to honor some of you who graduating from high school isn't just another moment in your life. It's a first for your family. It's a first of changing that cycle. So I would like to honor you today. Jason Blow, will you please stand? Andy Bouvier. Andy Bouvier, congratulations. Congratulations. Dan Cabrera, where are you? Be proud. And not only do we have Americans who have lived in America all their life, but we have some people who have moved from other countries, who today is the first day of a new moment for their family, being first generation in the United States, who are receiving high school diplomas. Alma Duma, who you say? Well, this next student hasn't just moved to Vermont to live the rest of her life or the United States, but she has given us such a wonderful smile during her time here at BHS. Julie Eloy Agri. Thank you. Thank you. Sully, where are you, Sully? Yes, Sully is another. Congratulations. Congratulations. Miroslav, again. This next student, one of 5 in her family, and she is the first to graduate with a high school diploma, Heather Mumley. Yes, Heather. Again, we have more families who are transitioned to Vermont to be here and to live in our great Green Mountain State. Wen Feng, will you please stand? Thank you. And last and definitely not least, another member who's changing tradition, breaking the cycle for their family, Mark Vienne. Congratulations. So, when I was chosen to be the speaker here today, I told many of you it was like being selected as winning an Academy Award. You know, it's just great being nominated. And in that day, I was crying home in my car. And I shared with you, and I promised today I wouldn't cry. I promised you today I wouldn't. But you know what it means to me to be here, because you have spoken volumes for me. But what do I want to leave you with today? Well, the thing that I want you to take from Burlington High School is knowing that when you walk through these doors for the last time, no longer are you going to be judged by the Vermont frameworks, the standards, those portfolio things that you love to do. No longer are those going to be your grades or the rubrics that's judging you. No longer are you going to receive A, B, C, D, and Mr. Calcaney's case, maybe a F+. No longer are you going to receive those grades, but the standards in which you're going to be judged are changing. Some people may judge you by what car you drive, how big your house is. But I want you to judge yourself by a different standard. Judge yourself by how much you can contribute to this world and to this society. Look inside yourself and ask yourself this question: what have I done to make this world a better place? Let that be the rubric that you judge yourself by. Wow. As you leave today, we find it so much easier in society to put out negative energy, sarcasm, bitterness. My challenge to you as you walk through the doors and out the doors of Burlington High School is change that. Live your life in a way that you put out positive energy in the world. For those of you who have had me in class, you know that we read from 3 main books in our class. Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul, 1, 2, and 3. Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, because it's all small stuff. And the last one, Small Miracles, because it's those everyday occurrences that happen that lets us realize that this world isn't all bad. Mother Teresa she once said, we cannot do great things on this earth. We can only do small things, but with great love. So as you walk on this journey after VHS, some people like to say the real world starts now. I don't believe that, because that's based on a belief that what you're experiencing now isn't real. It is real. So as you leave Burlington High School, these are my words. Do your best. Live in a way that you know you're living. Help people along the way, because the path that you've walked, it may at times seem like you're the only person walking on that path. But realize that you're not alone. There's parents, there's teachers, loved ones, family, and friends who have all helped you along the way. So do whatever you can to help others. So family, friends, everyone from far and near, thank you, and welcome to our little place that we call home, Burlington High School, and congratulations, class of 2000.
Parents, faculty, school board members, Dr. Gemolo, Dr. Mellencamp, honored guests, friends, and classmates. I have a nightmare where I'm standing on stage alone with a spotlight pointed directly at me. I can't see the audience, but I can hear people moving uncomfortably in their seats, as if they've been waiting for a very long time. I'm petrified. My knees begin to shake, and I break out in a cold sweat. But for some reason, the magnitude of my task keeps me from bolting from the stage and joining the rest of the audience. When I finally build up the courage to speak, nothing comes out. Suddenly, I have a million things I want to say, a million things I should say, but I have no voice. Sophomore year, on the first day of school, Mrs. Jane Cross asked us to do a journal writing exercise in which we talked about our fears. I wrote a poem about that nightmare, so I find it kind of ironic that I'm the one standing in front of you, a captive audience, with a million things to say and no telling when my voice will give out. When I was given the huge honor of being elected as your class speaker, I had no idea what I wanted to say. This spring, I went on the BHS Outing Club's whitewater rafting trip for the 3rd time. The first 2 times I went, I was thrilled to meet the physical challenge and to experience the natural power of fast-moving water. Though we were warned each time about the risks and dangers involved in whitewater sports, I never truly considered them as I stepped onto the raft. I never fell out of the boat. This spring, things were different. The water was higher, the challenge was greater, and suddenly I realized that this was more than just an adrenaline rush. As our raft plunged into the first big hole, something went awry, and 7 people were knocked out of the boat. It took me a few seconds to realize I was underwater, surrounded only by white. I was tossed by the river, doing somersaults under the raft, and thinking that I hadn't said I love you to my dad before I left for Maine. For the 30 seconds I was trapped under the raft, I thought about all the things I hadn't said, all the things I still had left to do. I couldn't consider not going to school on Monday. I had a paper due. When I finally managed to fight my way back to the surface and point myself downstream where help awaited, I vowed I would never fall out of the boat again, and no matter how scared I got, I would never panic. So next time our boat hit a big hole, instead of falling out with the 5 other people, I held onto a rope and grabbed onto someone's hand. Suddenly, I was no longer afraid for myself, but afraid to let go of the person in the water, afraid she might have left something unsaid. We have all been given the opportunity to work through our fears in our 4 years of high school. Whether those fears were confronted on a river, on a football field, or in a classroom. Because of the support given to us by this community of students, parents, teachers, and administrators, we were challenged to work through those fears and to use them to accomplish our goals. So, in the spirit of not leaving anything unsaid, I thank you all, parents, teachers, friends, relatives, and community members for coming to the Burlington High School Class of 2000 commencement exercises. You are part of the reason we have made it this far, though we sometimes hate to admit it. Thank you, parents, for giving us all the necessities of life: food, shelter, clothing, rides all over town, money for the movies, sports equipment, computers, and of course, giving us a conscience. We really appreciate that little voice in the back of our heads that says with annoyance, "Don't you think it's time to come home now?" In the past 4 years, we have been nagged to do our homework, go to school, get a job, eat our vegetables, and you have done this all with gusto. Thank you for teaching us how to bargain and how to argue. Thank you for coming to watch our games, see our plays, and listen to our concerts. Most of all, thank you for cheering, no matter how we played, and clapping, even when our performances were sleepworthy. You have provided us with the opportunity to succeed with your continuing support and encouragement. To our teachers, thank you for instructing us in so many ways. Thank you for giving us what we need to continue our education or to enter the working world. Education is the most important tool we have, and I firmly believe that you have the most important job in the world. You have taught us how to learn, how to get the information we need, and how to appreciate knowing it. You have taught us to be proud of what we are capable of and to expect more of ourselves. Through the challenges you have presented us with, you have taught us not to be afraid. Whether we were playing a soccer game or writing a paper, you asked us to do our best. You are the group of people who look beyond the stereotype of the rebellious teenager and see the poet, the athlete, the politician, the actor, and the intellectual that exists within each of us. When you look at your students, you see individual people. You give us the benefit of the doubt. Thank you for understanding that sometimes it takes more than 8 minutes to get from the bottom of A building to the top of E. And sometimes it takes more than 2 months to finish a project. You have driven through blizzards, worked through lunches, and stayed long after the last bell to help us attain our goals. You are patient and tolerant and often overlooked. But from the bottom of my heart and from all of us, thank you. To our administrators, I extend a huge thank you for teaching us what happens to those who park illegally. By giving us guidelines, you taught us to push. You have been open to suggestions and helpful even when we did our best to fight authority. Thanks for attempting to make things run smoothly, despite our natural tendency towards anarchy. And now for the class of 2000. Thank you for the honor of being your class speaker. To be asked to represent such an amazing group of people is something I will never forget. Thank you for showing me how to win with humility and how to lose with grace. In 4 years at BHS, our class has participated in 13 state championships in soccer, cheerleading, football, tennis, hockey, gymnastics, and Scholars Bowl. We have put together professional quality performances. At each of these events, we have been there to cheer each other on, occasionally covered in blue and white paint. And I thank you for that spirit. Against all odds, our class came together this year. We did not let the divisions that dominated our school in the past get in the way of our success. One of the greatest lessons I have learned in my 4 years at BHS is how to work together in a community. We have truly developed into a cohesive group. Together, we've made it through the transition to block scheduling, a new principal, and many, many standardized tests. My only advice to you as we prepare to exit this building one last time is to embrace the spotlight. Use whatever chance you get to address something you are passionate about or to make a change. Don't let fear or convention hold you back. To quote poet John Berryman, we must travel in the direction of our fear. The direction of our apprehension as we move from the community we have always known is the future. I encourage you to approach your future and move through your fear as you have done in these 4 years of high school. If you are afraid of what lies ahead, know that you are not alone, and that these people who have helped you get this high school diploma are behind you, even if they are hundreds of miles away. Congratulations to the class of 2000, and thank you. You have made me proud to be a student at Burlington High School and a member of this class. Now, it is with great pleasure that I introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Judith Romali, President of the University of Vermont. Dr. Romali became the 24th President of the University of Vermont on July 1st, 1997. Prior to coming to Vermont, she was President and Professor of Biology at Portland State University in Oregon. Under her leadership, the University of Vermont has established new partners in the state that support educational reform, economic and community development, and opportunities for Vermonters across the state. Dr. Romali?
You're taller than I am. It's a pleasure to be here today to join you in the celebration and to get hot like you're getting hot. It's sort of a feeling of empathy that I have with you today. We don't have a chance to celebrate that much in our busy lives, and I hope as you're sitting here today getting ready to move on into the future, you can take a moment to reflect on something special about yourself that you're taking into the world to share with other people. The word education actually comes from a Greek root meaning to lead forth, but it has a lot of other connotations of discipline, of expansion, of strength of character. We've been arguing for centuries over what it is that an education imparts to a person that they would not otherwise have. Those two separate views go all the way back into Greek philosophy. Is it to help you with thought or with action? Is it to help you with self-realization or social responsibility? Is it to enable you to understand the meaning of life or contribute to life? What do you suppose the answer is? This is your final exam. Yes, both. Good. Slow, but good. John Gardner, who wrote a book entitled Excellence, posed a very important question that I've had on my mind for many years. Is it possible for a people to achieve excellence if they don't believe in anything? As you might guess, the answer to this is no. Let's repeat that. No. You can do better than this. No. Got it. That's better. You're doing fine. To be excellent, you must care. You must care intensely about your world and your place in it, and you must believe that you yourself, along with all the others you get to know, can really make a difference. A number of years ago, when I was at the University of Kansas, I went to a speech by Elie Wiesel, who is a Nobel laureate, received the Peace Prize, who said that the opposite of knowledge is not ignorance, it is indifference. In fact, he saw indifference as our absolute greatest enemy. He wanted us to instill a desire to know, a desire to understand, a desire to make a difference in life, and to look at the critical questions that by now you must already have faced in one way or another, not just parking tickets, but other boundaries and other issues that have challenged you and forced you to think. The answer to these important questions and others like them can be found within each of us and through our gradual understanding the stories of other people that we get to know. James Mill, an historian and philosopher and the father of John Stuart Mill, argued that the end of education is to render the individual as much as possible an instrument of happiness, first to himself and next to others. This is important because we live in a democracy, and a democracy is not just what you learned in one of your classes about the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. It is a living thing created by how we treat each other, what role we play in life, and it must be nurtured and it must be tended, and it is the product of our own efforts. Good citizenship means dialogue, really listening to what other people have to say. It means communicating what you really think, and it means to be a believer in the good in other people. There are three pieces to it: trust, which is one of the benefits produced when citizens work together and see the result of their action; goodwill, when we actually share something of ourselves with each other; and finally, the wonderful sense of democratic idealism, when we believe that we can leave behind us the same wonderful world, perhaps made a bit better than the one we inherited. In this country, we've put a lot of emphasis in recent years on individual rights, but each of us must be willing to think about the rights of other people. And this takes some quiet learning on your part. You've spent a number of years in school, and many of you are going to go on. In fact, within a couple of years, I would guess 80% of you will have some form of post-secondary education. But education and life rush past us so quickly, and we don't take time to reflect. My favorite story about that is a time I was sitting very quietly by a lake. In fact, it was in Maine. And I had just walked out of a very brightly lit space, and I could see nothing, absolutely nothing. And over the next few minutes, as I let myself sit quietly and listen to the water lapping against the shore, the stars came out one by one. And because it was August, I could see the showers of meteors in the Pleiades, and before long, all of nature was open up in front of me because my eyes had adjusted, my ears had adjusted, I had slowed myself down enough that I could enjoy the beauty of what was around me. I hope you've had those moments, and I hope throughout your life you will. But it is at those moments that the rush of what you've been doing come together in focus, and you begin to understand what it is you're learning from life. Watch for the early shining light of curiosity and a desire for knowledge in other people, and learn to share what you love and care about. One of my favorite authors is Kim Stafford, who's the son of Oregon's late poet laureate William Stafford, who wrote about what his childhood was like. I'm going to quote it directly. He said, "When one of us 4 kids," why he said that I don't know, it's grammatically incorrect, "would mention a fugitive thought, an idea in infancy, no matter how small, my mother would draw us out for more, or my father would stop the talk to savor what we had just said, and often they would match our saying to a line from literature or a story from family lore. You know, my father would say, Milton had the same idea. He would reel out a line from Shakespeare, a reverie from Wordsworth, from George Eliot, Willa Cather, Thomas Mann. He would knot our feeble little symbols to the cadences of the great. The exact words of the poetry didn't stick with me, but the feeling of being companion to Shakespeare stayed with me even unto today. Child, parent, and saint of the language joined as fellow pilgrims on the road. And this is what I would wish for each of you, that your own thoughts would be enriched by the people you know, the authors you've read and have yet to read, the ideas that all of us have always struggled with and reflected upon, the words of great poets and great philosophers, the examples of lives well led in leadership and in service, and most of all, that you will share freely of yourself with others, that the pleasures of that search after truth will be yours for a lifetime, and that we may enjoy the beautiful person that you are. Thank you.
Dr. Amy Mellencamp, our principal, will now present the graduation awards.
Livia Carlson DeMarcus, valedictorian. The student who receives the highest academic average during the 4 years of high school is designated as the valedictorian of the class of 2000, Livia DeMarcus. Andrew James Malkowski, salutatorian. The student who receives the second highest academic average during the 4 years of high school is designated as salutatorian, Andrew Malkowski. Livia Carlson DeMarcus, Andrew James Malkowski, Katie Jean Killian. The Howard Educational Award is given to 3 students with the highest academic averages all 4 years. Livia DeMarcus, Andrew Malkowski, Katie Killian. Claire Marie Burke, Sarah Elizabeth Delaney, Luke F. Delorme, Livia Carlson DeMarcus, Anna Britt Kasupski, Katie Jean Killian, Miroslav Coolness, Caitlin Long, Andrew James Malkowski, Rachel Helene Spurrier, Jason Francis Whiteovich. These students, listed alphabetically and wearing the gold braids, are the top 5% students in the class of 2000. Claire Burke, Sarah Delaney, Luke Delorme, Livia DeMarcus, Anna Kasupski, Katie Killian, Miroslav Coolness, Caitlin Long, Andrew Malkowski, Rachel Spurrier, Jason Whiteovich. Livia DeMarcus, the Mary E. Pease History Award, is given to the class by the class of 1924 to the student with the highest average for 4 years in history, Livia DeMarcus. Abigail Harwood, the Alumni Association Award is given for outstanding work in writing. Abigail Harwood. Livia DeMarcus. The Alumni Association Award is given for excellence in English. Livia DeMarcus. Livia DeMarcus. The Alumni Association Award is given for outstanding work in science. Livia DeMarcus. Dennis Ferrari, Jr. The Major Dana Hutchins Alumni Award is given for outstanding work in technology education. Dennis Ferrari. Andrew Malkowski, Livia DeMarcus. The William J. Lamplow Mathematics Award is given for outstanding work in mathematics. Andrew Malkowski, Livia DeMarcus. Andrew Malkowski. The Alumni Association Award is given for outstanding work in foreign languages. Andrew Malkowski. Livia DeMarcus. The Jean-Pierre Lascoume Award is given for outstanding work in French. Livia DeMarcus. Corey Rossetti. The Ruth Henderson Memorial Award is given by the class of 1948 to the student demonstrating outstanding business skills. Corey Rossetti. Hame. The Ruth Henderson Business Education Award is given to the student with the highest average in business education. Hame. Oriana Chaplin. Livia DeMarcus. The Alumni Association Award is given for consistent performance in art. Oriana Chaplin, Livia DeMarcus. Stephen Holt. The James H. Cook Memorial Award is given for outstanding achievement and dedication to music at BHS all 4 years. Stephen Holt. Timothy Conley, Sarah Delaney. The Adrian E. Holmes Music Award is given for outstanding dedication and service to the BHS Music Department. Timothy Conley, Sarah Delaney. The William B. Hackett Award in Athletics will be presented by Alan Webster for the class of 1963.
Thank you, Dr. Mellencamp. Lucas Collins. The class of 1963 presents the William B. Hackett Sportsmanship Award in memory of our classmate, William B. Hackett, who gave his life on June 22, 1961, in a heroic attempt to save the life of a young friend. Bill had just completed his sophomore year at Burlington High School. During his few years with our class, he entered wholeheartedly into sports and other school activities and promoted school spirit. His warm friendliness and modesty endeared him to his friends, his classmates, and the faculty. The senior boy receiving this award has exemplified as nearly as possible the qualities inherent in the character of Bill Hackett. Two of his outstanding characteristics were good sportsmanship and courage. In addition, Bill was respected for his loyalty, sincerity, fairness, and honesty. In track and football especially, his team spirit and athletic ability inspired all with whom he was associated. Congratulations, Lucas Collins, from the class of 1963.
Nathan Long. Selected by the senior class, the Elliott Rice Memorial Award is given by the class of 1928 to the senior boy who best emulates the qualities of their classmate. Elliott Rice, possessing the gifts of friendship, innate modesty, simplicity, and intelligence, who ranked high in his academic work, as well as being an outstanding athlete known for good sportsmanship. Nathan Long. The Agnes G. Kelly Award will be presented by Sally Kalinowski.
Andrea Osborne. Selected by the senior class, the recipient of the Agnes A. Kelly Award exemplifies a person who has, over 4 years, developed the inner strength of self-esteem, self-worth, and self-confidence, which she has shared as a role model, quietly making a difference. She is a true example of a woman's way, being assured, goal-oriented, and confident about being a woman entering into society. The recipient of the Agnes A. Kelly Award this year is Andrea Osborne.
Sarah Delaney, Brian Letourneau. The Burlington High School Booster Club Award is given to a senior male and a senior female athlete whose character, dedication, and especially sportsmanship exemplify the spirit and high ideals of Burlington High School athletics. Sarah Delaney, Brian Letourneau. Jason Blow, Grace Pebler. The F.E. Moore Memorial Award is given by the class of 1922 to the student who has made the most academic progress during the past 4 years by vote of the faculty. Jason Blow, Grace Pebler. Liza Gadulig, Nicholas Kilborn, Andrea Osborne, Amy Wright. Alumni Association Service Awards are given by the class of 1925 to the students who have shown outstanding service to their class and to their school by vote of the faculty. Liza Gadulig, Nicholas Kilborn, Andrea Osborne, Amy Wright. Claire Burke. The Mary E. Pease Citizenship Award is given by the class of 1948 to the student who shows qualities of good citizenship by vote of the faculty. Claire Burke. Emily Furlong. The Student Council Award for Achievement is given to a graduating senior who consistently promoted positive leadership at Burlington High School. Emily Furlong. Seth Winchard. The Florence G. Green Teaching Award is given to a student who plans to enter the teaching profession by vote of the faculty. Seth Winchard. Kelly Richardson. The Ruth Spooner Burlington Education Association Scholarship is given to a student who has shown excellence in academic achievement and who shows promise in the pursuit of higher education. Kelly Richardson. Lindsay Cunningham. The Bobby Miller Scholarship has been established by Robert E. Miller. His goal is to recognize and encourage young people who attended H.O. Wheeler as elementary students to achieve personal goals and make a positive contribution to their community. Lindsay Cunningham. Livia DeMarcus. Recipients of the National Merit Scholarships, chosen by a committee of college admissions offices and high school counselors, are the finalists in each state judged to have the greatest potential for success in rigorous college studies. Livia DeMarcus. The Barbara Gauntlet Scholars Program, upon application and selection by the Barbara Gauntlet Committee, recognizes students from Burlington High School who have earned academic averages of B- or better. These Barbara Gauntlet Scholars are eligible for one-year scholarships to assist them with their post-secondary education. This year's Barbara Gauntlet Scholars are Allison Bevins, Claire Burke, Lucas Collins, Timothy Conley, Anna Cottrell, Dario Coutura, Sarah Delaney, Alma Dulma, Jason Frank, Kate Frazier, Abigail Harwood, Anna Kasupski, Ala Katz-Nelson, Nicholas Kilburn, Katie Killian, Erica Kirk, Brian Letourneau, Caitlin Long, Hua Mei, Allison Martell, Michelle Martell, Eric McMahon, Richard Miller, Aaron Moreau, Fong Nguyen, Kevin Noto, Nicholas Paluto, Kelly Richardson, Oriana Chaplin, Andrew Shepard, Jason Smith, Joshua Torres, Jason Wyotwich. Dr. Jana Gemolo, I present to you the class of 2000.
Thank you, Dr. Mellencamp. With the power vested in me by the state of Vermont and the Burlington Board of School Commissioners, it is with great pleasure that I confer upon each and every one of you status of high school graduate, and with it, the rights and responsibilities and your high school diploma. Mrs. Fortune, would you begin to call the roll?
Eddie Aiken. Hold on a second. Michael Alvanos. Mary Lana Anderson. Alahe Ardesh. Adinya Nona. Guyana Badalian. Melissa Bador. Crystal Balboa. David M. Banfield. Julie Ann Barowitz. Cynthia M. Bassett. Jeff Baker. Christopher Beagle. Jessica M. Bennett. Allison L. Bevins. Rachel Lynn Bilodeau. Jason Blow. Corey Lee Badette. Lita Anna Bovin. Jeremy Bourne. Andrew Kyle Bovier. Sean Anthony Boyce. Kate V. Bradley. Terrence F. Brown. Locke Bui. Claire Marie Burke. Kevin Dennis Burke. Daniel Wayne Cabrera, Jr. Brenda Marie Carlson. Yakima Jade Chambers. Michelle A. Cheeseman. Melissa M. Clark. Lucas M. Collins. Sarah A. Conant. Timothy D. Connolly. Melody Janae Corcoran. Matthew Cosgrove. Lynette Marie Cody. Anna Barclay Cottrell. Melinda Sue Crosby. Lindsay Karina Cunningham. Dario Shatura. Mohammed Abdullah Dalan. Jason P. Dano. Kayla Dodlin. Catherine E. Davis. Stephen J. Davison. Rachel E. Damon. Sarah Elizabeth Delaney. Luke F. Delorme. Livia Carlson DeMarcus. Jessica Desjardins. Deki Tenzin Dondup. Shannon Dolson. Sering Dorji. John Paul Dow. Alma Dulma. Lonnie Renee Dussault. Mark Ely. Julie Eloy Dit Agri. Jason John Essinger. Nelson Farrell. Ryan N. Fenty. Dennis Ferrari. Brian James Fitzpatrick. Amanda A. Francis. Jason James Frank. Kate Elizabeth Frazier. Emily Coffrin Furlong. Jan Gallert. Liza P. Gaduldig. Michael R. Grennan. Wendy Girton. Christopher Toru Guion. Seth Daniel Ginshard. Teresa Irene Gavush. Timothy P. Hammond. Abigail Marie Harwood. Ryan Grant Heath. Matthew Lewis Hemingway. Holly Beth Hepner. Alexis Catherine Herberg. Emily Hodgetts. Stephen Carter Holt. Matthew Joseph Holvek. Matthew L. Hoyt. Mary Massey Huddle. Bonnie E. Hudspeth. Irfan Kadich. Anna Britt Kasupski. Alla B. Katz-Nelson. Nicholas Edward Kilborn. Katie Jean Killian. Willie Kinley. Ryan Todd Kirby. Erica Lynn Kirk. Sally Kokorovich. Miroslav Kulnis. Lorelei LaFountain. Catherine Lagoon. Song Lam. Tung Lam. Amber Marie Lamotte. Melissa Sue Latimer. Now Lee. Jessica Leachman. Jason M. Lee. Brian Joseph Letourneau. Caitlin L. Long. Nathan Long. Joseph A. Lawyer III. Patrick B. Lucy. Nathaniel Morrison Lynn. Hoa Tai Mai. Andrew James Malkowski. Shauna Nicole Marrero. Allison Marie Martel. Michelle Teresa Martel. Jason Mesha. Dan Maka. Damian McGinnis. Bridget Ann McGrath. Christopher Haynes McKieran. Eric L. McMahon. Rachel Elizabeth Mersha. Jerry Lee Miller. Richard Allen Miller III. Aaron E. Morrow. Yassine J. Moliere. Kristen Sarah Mount. Goodwin Moy. Edith Muderwa. Bianca Mojkanovich. Heather Mumley. Bao Win. Win Fong. Kevin Joseph Noto. Zachary C. Noose. Adam D. O'Brien. Andrea Marie Osborne. Timothy James Ozier. Nicholas Michael Paluto. Tenzin Palzome. Ed Parent. Vin Pham. Laura J. Provost. Ibrahim A. Rahim. Michelle Lee Reed. Kelly Brown Richardson. Corey A. Rossetti. Cody Thomas Rounds. Oriana Alexander Chaplin. Katie Marie Shappy. Andrew Casper Shepard. Donia Gabrielle Shirley. Peter A. Shumway. Elizabeth Ann Seacard. Luke H. Smale. Christopher E. Smith. Jason Dennis Smith. Shepard P. Smith. Rachel Helene Spurrier. Amy Stewart. William George Strauss. Jintina Sundarabaya. Brian James Sweeney. Tu Tai. Jed H. Tebow. Derek J. Tiplady. Joshua M. Torres. Dong Kim Tron. Kon K. Tron. Grace Lynn Pebler. Kelsey Suzanne Truax. Hung V. Trong. Alma Tehran. Leo Verge. Mark Stephen Vienne Jr. Daniel J. Weiss. Lisa D. Weissman. Jeremy M. Willett. Benjamin Williams. Jason Francis Whitowich. Amy Elizabeth Wright. Tenzin Yang Chen.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce Liza Gaduldig, the president of the class of 2000, will offer our closing remarks.
Wow. Pretty amazing, huh?
I have been so lucky that I have been able to stand up here and watch all your faces today. It's a pretty incredible picture. I need for all the graduates to look to your left. Now look to your right. I thought you might need a little neck stretch after this long ceremony. But in all seriousness, the people to your left and to your right, and the people who surround us in this room today, these people will probably be and are the most important people in our lives. So it all comes down to this. In the next 60 seconds, we will walk out of this room together for the last time as the class of 2000. Each person will go his or her own way. And as I look back over the past 4 years, I can't help but smile because it certainly has been crazy. You all have given me a memory to hold on to, and I hope I have done the same for you. For as long as I can remember, my grandfather has always said, "May tomorrow be as good as today." I think they're pretty good words to live by. So I pass these words of wisdom on to all of you, and I wish you the best of luck.